Hello, everybody. It's Tpull versus JP Garin here at the corner. This is going to be a sequel. I've done these in the past. We're using Throne of the Grim Captain again, but we moved into a different color section. So we're still using black, but instead of black and blue from the last video, we're using black and green. And sometimes I do this where I find a particular card that I'm building around and I just get curious about what the rest of the color pie looks like. And we can bring out the Greedy Freebooter right now, so we will. And so what happened is I put out the video, it did pretty good, and then I got in a little back and forth with one of the viewers, ImmunoK from 948, and he said he wasn't a fan of Dimir colors for this, and wanted to go for Golgari colors instead. And I don't know if that's just for this particular card, or this particular style of self-mill, or just in general, but he told me some of the stuff that he was using, and I didn't have everything. Like, I don't have Fomori's Vault, but I have the other stuff. And I kind of hate to use Pit of Offerings that early, but I need to put out the land. Their Deep Cavern Bat took out the removal card, of course, and so they get to see everything that we have. So they already know, basically, if they played this game before, they already know what's going on. Discard won't necessarily hurt us because we just get that from the grave for the Grim Captain, as long as they don't take my throne. Maybe take... Oh, hello. They took the Preacher. That's out of everything you would take. I mean, this has reach, so I can at least stop their attacking if they don't have removal on it. And if they don't have another discard spell, we just get to put down the throne and we're good to go. So, but usually with what they've got, the odds are they'll have either discard or removal. Hopefully they don't have both, or I'm really in trouble. Aha, they can't get rid of the Harvester because it's an artifact creature. So they did have removal, but it was the wrong type. So land is exactly what I need. Okay, now don't have discard. Don't have discard. You basically already done 4 discards on me in the first 4 turns as it is. Yeah, you can't attack me. Don't even try it. There we go. Okay, so we put this puppy down. We have a dinosaur in the graveyard already. I just passed the turn. I'm not even going to attack the freebooter right now. We got the pirate. We got Shapeshifter, which can count for one of the other 2. So all we need to do is find a merfolk and a vampire. Okay, they get rid of that. I get to scry. We'll throw away the land for now. And let's go ahead and, when I get a chance, I'm going to mill. As soon as they do whatever they're going to do. Oh, man. They did have another form of removal, so they can keep coming at me. Okay, there's a vampire. So I'm good, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, I'm good. We'll surveil. Maybe there's another dinosaur. Why not? I can't full cast it. So there, we craft. Oh, this is great for the very first session. I get my dinosaur, I get my vampire, I get my pirate, and you, Shapeshifter, will be the merfolk. And unless they come up with a top decking a Sheoldred's Edict, I should be set. I mean, if they had a Death Toucher to block, that might hurt. Oh. I'm coming tomorrow. Yeah, so they've been thinking about it. They don't want to block. They don't want to double block and lose their bat. So they'll just attack and see what else they can dig for. And they could craft this. but they'd have to get rid of a bat to do that. That's really just worth a couple of points each turn. Collector's Vault is fine to bring down. Don't know that we want to use it right now, that we have to or anything. And now they have to lose a permanent no matter what. So they'll stall, they'll get rid of the artifact first, because they still want to keep their bats. They think there's advantage to that. And we give them time to think about it. Oh, they don't, never mind. They don't even sacrifice the artifact. They just sacrifice the game. That's like the Planeswalker just opened up a portal and left our dimension because they didn't want to face us anymore, did they? All right, let's go ahead and show you the deck tech. Hello to everybody new. This is Travis for Tpull's Corner, and we are doing sort of a sequel, so I call it Sequel to the Throne, Throne of the Grim Captain. Put out a video just a few days ago, and did a little back and forth with one of the commenters on the YouTube page, MunoK948, who said that he wasn't a fan of Dimir colors for this, and I didn't know if that meant for this card or this self-mill strategy or what, but he said he'd have opted for Golgari. So they went ahead and shared the deck list with me. I didn't have everything, like I don't have the Flamari Vault because that's a mythic rare, but I had a lot of the other stuff. So here's what we did. We got rid of the blue color and we added in the green, so we're black and green Golgari colors, and we still have, I added in a third Throne of the Grim Captain. I tried at first to use 4 and I ended up with 2 copies in my hand in the very early stages that I needed creatures and I wasn't ready to set up for the throne. So I think 4 thrones is too many. So I used 3 and had room for 1 collector's vault. We kept, let's see, what else did we keep? I kept 4 of the Barkform Harvesters because I like the reach and I like the changeling ability to fill in as the 4th creature type for whatever we're missing. I still have 1 Beseech the Mirror to go search for that 5th piece of the 4-part or the 5-part puzzle, the 4 creature types and the artifact. So whatever I'm missing, I can go look for. And I kept the 2 Gix's Command. For removal, they suggested Bitter Triumph, which I like because you can discard a card to pay for the spell, which is great when we want to fuel the throne. And maybe it's early on and we have big cards that we just can't cast those creatures. So we'll discard them to pay for the cost of the Bitter Triumph. And also he suggested Anoint with Affliction, which I think is a good choice. So remember the last one that I did with the Dimir colors, the blue and black, I only had 4 removal cards in the entire deck. So I have 10 now, so that's a lot. So a lot of the creatures had to come out. So we also kept the Desperate Bloodseekers, 2 of those, for the lifelink, as well as the milling ability. Okay, so the new stuff, the new creatures that we have. For black, for our pirates, we have 4 of the Greedy Freebooters. Very cheap. We get to Scry, which also helps us in determining if we have what we need for land or if we have what we need to fuel the throne. And we still get a treasure token out of things, which is why I didn't feel I needed more copies of Collector's Vault. Because not just sorting through my deck, but the treasure tokens were handy for Collector's Vault. So the treasure here kind of makes up for that. We got 2 Preachers of the Schism for vampires, and a 3rd vampire here with the Vein Ripper, which makes for a great card. And then for green, we have Vaultborn Tyrant, Tyrannix Rex, and Galta Stampede Tyrant. For the others, we have Hulking Raptor, which gives us the extra 2 mana, 2 green mana at the beginning of our phase. If we get the Hulking Raptor and it manages to hang around for a turn, which it might because it's got Ward 2, we could maybe ramp in and just full cast some of these bigger cards. And then we have 2 copies of Sentinel of the City, which when it enters or attacks, you create a map token. That allows you to explore, and of course we love that. We had a blue card last time that did that, so we replaced it with a green creature that did that this time. And at first I thought it was going to be too slow, but last time I tried this out, I lost 1 battle for the entire evening. So I went and got my 15 wins. I think I won 6, 7 times in a row before I lost. And I didn't have too many land problems. I did try to land a couple times, but I still won those. So in our special lands, we got Hidden Necropolis to discover 4. We got Draw Pits to draw a card if we need to draw, if it gets a little, slow. We've got 2 Restless Cottages so that we can exile a card from their graveyard. And we've got some Surveil cards, of course. 1 Blast Zone, 1 Demolition Zone, and 1 Fountain Port that we could also sacrifice a token to draw a card. And then we have a Pit of Offerings to exile 3 cards from graveyards in case we don't like what they have in their graveyard. and 2 Sunken Citadels. That is the deck. I haven't decided yet on some other cards that I've built around in the past. I've gone through the entire color pie. So like we'd do like black blue, then black green, then black red. I'm not sure if I'll go through the entire color pie with the throne card, but I did want to try this one, and it was very successful, and I think even more successful than the Dimir colors. So I don't expect that I'll win quite as much today, but we should still do some winning, right? So let's put this through its paces and see what we can do here. I've already got enough land in the mana generation is enough for the Raptor. I don't usually want to discard the Raptor. I always want to cast the Raptor. Do we put out the throne now? Yeah, just because they might have discard. They could also have something to destroy enchant or artifacts. But it looks like they are a graveyard thing. So hopefully I can exile stuff from their graveyard before too much longer. They make all their land drops. This is the one problem I need. I got the wrong removal cards here. Let's go ahead and get rid of it now. And let's go ahead and mill for 2. Ah, there was my anoint card. That's what I wanted. Shoot. Alright. Maybe we'll get a big creature coming in. Let's mill again. Land Empire. Okay, so we're filling up. We've got some creatures here. We got 2, 3 if they get rid of this. I just need one more creature, and we're set. Return creature card from your graveyard, which they can't do. Okay, so I get 2 mana there. So if I do this, mill myself, and then I power up the throne. And what do we want to get rid of? We want to get rid of the Sentinel, the Pirate, the Changeling, and the Vampire. We already have our creature. I guess we go ahead and put this down too. And we'll make that green. Don't need to attack this turn. And now even if they have a Shoulder's Edict, I sacrifice the Raptor and I keep the Grim Captain. If there is a spell where they can make you sacrifice 2 creatures, but there isn't, other than a board wipe in that, there's not much else they can do here. Oh, never mind. Arena found. How often do you see somebody using Consumed by Greed? I've used it, but yeah, I don't normally come across people that use that. All right, so we use this. We will use this as an instant. We will. Actually, they're tapped out. Yeah, no, that's fine. We'll just pass. Okay, so there goes that. They bring it out again. We may be in trouble. They had the one card. We got so early. We did so well. This is the only thing really that could have stopped us, and they had it. And now I actually need a whole nother throne, and I need a whole bunch more creatures. And I'm not getting what I want. So let's go ahead and get rid of the 4/5. We'll have to pay a life for that. Pay 3 life for that, actually. But it's better to get rid of the big tough tokens because whatever I put in their graveyard for this, they could bring back out. So we need to get rid of these actually to clear the path. But without a collector's vault, And without another throne. And without having an Anoint with Affliction to exile that puppy. Oh, and they have 2 of them. Isn't it interesting? As soon as we won, Arena found somebody who had the exact cards they needed to counter our strategy. Well, we don't have to pay 3 life to get rid of the knight because he just sacrificed his own knight. It's about the same effect. 2 enchantments. I mean, I guess maybe I could do... Nope. That's not really working much either. Pay 3 more life, get rid of the 5/6. Put this puppy down. And do I bother attacking? They've tapped all that stuff. Yeah, let's go ahead and attack with the Death Toucher. Just because we'll get a life linker. And that's why I'll kill both of those. Problem is, he's probably going to be able to bring that Ruthless Lawbringer back. And I'm out of ammo, and he's actually got 4 cards. Gee whiz. Does that happen automatically? Or did he unlock? Yeah, I feel like we're dead here. We will chump block with our 1/1 life linker. Pit of Offerings. Okay, that's kind of what we wanted. Oh, that's all that's left in your graveyard? That doesn't help us either. That damaged us. That wasn't what I wanted. No matter what I do, this card is like... It's like Arena went overnight and devised a deck specifically against us. Take something out of their graveyard, it hurts me. If I power up this to attack, it would exile a card from the graveyard. It would hurt me. Destroy their creatures, it hurts me. And out of all of this time, they had the one type of removal card. It's now exiled. The only card that they could have had that would have stopped and saved them. They had it at the exact moment they needed it. Okay, they just have not going to hang around for this anymore. The fix was in. Yeah, Consumed by Greed. We're not going to face that card again for the next year. Arena's a cheater. We like our creatures up front. They really are going all in on giving us all the specialty lands up front, aren't they? For this deck, because we have dinosaurs that cost 3 green, we usually, when we have to choose a color, we're choosing green. But this is untapped, so we might put this out next just so we can get Sentinel of the Nameless City going early. It's a good choice for the creatures. I think I like them having toughness 4, both of these, the Preacher and the Sentinel. You know what? That is less than 3, so we'll just exile it. We'll choose the green color now. We'll attack. Our overall strategy is to get the throne and convert the throne. It doesn't really matter for me to be all that anxious to get creatures out up front. I can, but it's not the most urgent thing in the world to do. There's our throne. There's the throne. Okay. Demolition field. Yeah, let me keep that. I'll use that. Here, they won't want to attack into a Death Toucher, right? So we just pass the turn. And if they kill it, we can still use it for the throne. So, no harm, no foul. Both red and white colors have ways to get rid of the Preacher if they want to. So if they're able to, they get a flyer instead. 4/4 flyer, so my 2/3 reach creature can't deal with that. What else can you do? Why are you looking at your cards? Let's just go ahead and pay the 3 life here. And then we can still afford to put down the Sentinel, which gives me the map token. And I have less life than them, right? So I get a 1/1 life linker out of this that I can use as a chump blocker for anything without trample. And they have to take the 2 points of damage. I still have a creature with toughness 4 to block. Life is good. They're going to be able to discover again. It seems like they have enough land, so they like the cards, so I'm guessing that we're not going to see land drops from them for a couple of turns. What do they have in there? Do we want to exile that stuff now? How about we do this? We attack with these 2. Do you block anything? You double block to get rid of the Preacher. Okay. Okay, now we put down Pit of Offerings. That way, if they had anything to get things out of the graveyard, it doesn't matter to them now. And we can put down the throne, and if they have a board wipe, we don't care. If they can't block, we just attack with the creatures. So we're good either way here. It's kind of the beauty of this deck. If you can get an army of creatures down that are relatively cheap, go for it. I don't even have to think. I just plug and play now. Turn sideways and attack like I'm mono red aggro. What are you going to do? Block 1? We don't need land. We do take the treasure, so now we craft. Welcome to the Minecraft section of the game, where we take the vampire and the pirate and the merfolk and the shapeshifter, and we have somebody to block an Imbecile. Yeah, look at that. They do have another land to play. Ooh, hit the Mother Lode too. That's a nice card. But all it gets them is a Brazen Blade Master. Not enough. Not nearly enough. They are tapped out. Oh, they don't even hang around for anything. They are donezo. This is one of the problems with this game. In the old days, you sit across the table from somebody. You're going over to a friend's house usually. You're playing at the kitchen table or something. And they don't really quit necessarily like that. A lot of times we played out the games, even if they started to become hopeless. You know, sometimes we threw in our cards if it was obviously hopeless and nobody minded. But, you know, if you wanted to play it out, your buddies would let you play it out. They let you do your thing. We don't even have the right color mana here. Shoot, to get rid of the Rot Priest? That would have been handy. It's not like we have a lot of colorless stuff in here. Okay, yeah, they're not giving me any colored land at all, and they just land starved me, so they've got to make sure that they have the 50% win ratio. You can just see Arena cheating as we go. Like, was there any reason to suddenly have me land starved? And it's not enough, like before, like if I had 1 black mana, I could have had a chance there. Even if I was land starved for a couple of turns. But no, we're going to land starve you, and the 2 starting lands aren't the colors you need. I'm only playing 2 colors, and they found a way to make sure I didn't have either of them at the start. Now they apologize. They made sure I had access to both colors by turn 2. Bristly Spine, they do the right thing. They put down the creature first. And then they put down the land to buff it up. But we have Anoint for a change. Thank you, Arena. You're being nice to me now because you cheated on me last turn with the way you land starved me. And gave me no colors. You know that was dirty pool. It's when you start a game and you have 2 colorless lands in a 2-color deck, you can't blame that on the skill of the other player. They're going to need some setup. We're close to full casting a Vein Ripper already. Ooh, this is lovely. Forest. Do we want a forest? I guess we'll take it because that'll give us the land. We'll attack with the Death Toucher. We get to draw the land anyway. They can make a trade if they want. Hexproof doesn't prevent Death Touch. Okay, they're willing to make that trade. That's perfect for us. That's actually preferable. And we can actually do... Let's put down the Blast Zone, actually. We'll just put out the Vein Ripper itself. And we can still afford the Throne at the same time. Although maybe that's a bad idea with the Silverback Elder on the stage. But we actually had the Vein Ripper out, and that's a bigger threat than the Throne at this point, right? They'd have to sacrifice the Elder to play something that kills flyers at this point. Or if they wanted to spend a spell that... Okay, so they're going to cast a creature. They'll probably destroy the Throne, so that was my bad. I should not have done that. Will that cost me the game is the question. He still does that as well. Wow. He had both. Arena's cheating again. They had both. Okay, so that's 5, right? We'll just power up the Blast Zone then. We'll just do it that way. What are they waiting for? Get rid of you. Oh, don't tell me you have a protection spell too. You had a creature and a cosmic... Oh, you're getting rid of that. I don't think we can do anything to stop that. So we play this, and we attack. Green has spells that allow them to resurrect permanents, so we want to get rid of the Silverback Elder. Always a good idea to go after their mythic rares. And why not use one of these map tokens while we're at it? Changeling can go in the graveyard. They just have another Silverback Elder. That's lovely. Did they know I had that card? They seem to leave before I played the card. I don't think they saw that. Anyway, yeah, a lot of people scoop before you get to do the thing. But, you know, I guess at that point it's only one person that's having fun if they get to do their thing and the opponent's just on the beating end. But a lot of my decks seem to be come from behind type decks, so I spend a lot of times taking beatings, and then when it's my turn, I don't get a turn, they just run away. It's like somehow I'm facing an endless series of bullies who, as soon as I pick myself up off the pavement bleeding with my nose, they're like nana nana boo boo and they run away. Do I use Anoint with Affliction on this now? I guess. They could have something worse, is the problem. Yeah, that I think that qualifies as worse, actually. We're gonna give it a go anyway. That's what I was afraid of, the last King Jasper Flint. He could get one of my thrones. Okay, this is excellent. 3, 4. I think we just discard the dinosaur. I think that'll be fine. We put that down. We go ahead and use the map now. Preacher, that's fine. We get to attack for 4, and we get another map token. Sentinel of Nameless City is an excellent card. Look at it, for only 3 mana, already you get a 3/4 just to start with Vigilance, and you get an additional ability. That feels like overpowered slightly to me. But, you know, they get Vadmir, so we're equal, right? Okay, they know we have this, so let's use it. If they have another removal card, we'll make them use it. Gix's Command is a nice card to have at this stage, actually, in case they come up with a second creature. This deck starts off with cheap creatures, so... Removal? Okay. Are you feeling happy with yourself? Okay, so now, really all I need is a throne, right? See if we can pump this up. That's a throne! Hey, hey, hey! Ask and you shall receive. 1, 2, 3... Merfolk, it's the wrong type. I need another creature type, which is fine, I still have Beseech. Okay, so we're going to do things differently here. We'll return 2 creatures, and you sacrifice what you got. And I'm going to get both Sentinel and Preacher back. Just because I'm low health, I want to get rid of the 1 creature they have. And look, we're down to 8. Did they just draw land? Is that what happened? I mean, I guess I can't blame them. If they know what Throne of the Grim Captain can do once we get the Grim Captain out, it does look pretty grim, pardon the pun. But just having, you know, they know that we have these 2 creatures that we can put them out. We can't put them both out next turn, but we could put out one and then the other. They've got 16 life, and they're not even willing to try. Okay, so we had one game where we lost, where Arena gave them exactly what they needed at the one and only point in time where it would be good for them. Let's see, I don't think I've used this yet in a deck, but I think I have at least one other one. So you can sacrifice a creature when you do target player withdraws 2 cards. Yeah, we may have to try and find out. That may be a card that's designed for limited. And then we had one where they gave us 2 lands only, and they didn't give us any colors in the lands. They were colorless lands. I think the 2 of the 3 only colorless lands out of the entire deck. And then they land starved us. So those are the 2 losses to this deck so far, today. I've already lost twice as much today as I did yesterday. Ooh, we get to go first, though. Sweet. We're going to take 1 point of damage for this. Next comes the Collector's Vault. First blood is ours. We're still tied, though. If you hurt yourself, that doesn't count as first blood being theirs, does it? First blood was mine either way. I bloodied my own nose with that. Okay, they need another creature to do that. I think the most valuable card is Sentinel of the Nameless City. So we're going to lead with that. Something like a lightning bolt can't get rid of it. A shock can't get rid of it. They need something stronger. Arabella's kind of disgusting. Let's go ahead and do this. Vaultborn Tyrant. Activate Collector's Vault. They know we have it. We'll get rid of it. We attack with the 4/5 and get another map token. Now we can afford, if we don't get land, with the treasure we can afford to cast a Raptor, which gives us our ramp. Until they get rid of the Sentinel, they can't really attack with Arabella. Oh, never mind. They gain 1 life point off of that, but they're tapped out, so do they kill my freebooter? They don't even kill the freebooter. Interesting choice. 2, 3, 4. We can actually attack with that. They can chump block. They don't bother to chump block. They want to attack with all of them. But they'd have to get rid of Arabella, right? If some of the time when you build this deck, you build it with combat tactics that give this indestructible. Are they going to destroy the Collector's Vault? Is that what they're looking at that for? Do they have something to destroy artifacts? I might have to be careful here. Okay, we get the 4/4. All of the tokens are now flying because that's what Toby's effect is. When you have 4 more creature tokens, the tokens have flying. And they can take 5 life points, but they would lose Arabella at this point. They'd have to run into one of my creatures. Is that worth it? Or just attack over the head? Okay. Let's see. Which creature do I want to get rid of is the question. Let's get the blocker. Let's get rid of the 4/4. I'm actually going to pay a life for that. 2, 3, 4, 5. They would have to block with Arabella on that. Hang on, let me go ahead and see what we got. It's a land. The one time I didn't want to land. Do I want to attack with Sentinel or not? Yes. Worst case, they chump block with 1, right? They don't want to go below 10 life. They do. They're taking it. Okay, so base power and toughness equal to the number of creatures. That'll make them all 5/5, won't it? Am I too late? This room... Oh, they didn't do it that way. This room is pretty tough. Uh-oh. Porcelain Gallery. There goes... Oh, it happens twice because of Delny. Shoot. And they have 4 creature tokens now, so those all go fly. What can I block with? Is that... Hang on. Can't be blocked. Oh. Shoot. Yeah, Delny's tough. Creatures with power 2 or less can't be blocked with 3 or greater. So I can get rid of one of the flyers. I can get rid of one of the guys on the ground. And I'm dead? No, I got 1 life. Galta does not help me right now. Another land. That wasn't the greatest to help me either. And they got their life gain out of it. 13. And yet another. Okay, I just flooded out with land. I'm not gonna get lethal on this. But they could have just attacked just with Arabella. And they would have got me. I have exactly lethal if I didn't have any blockers. They go down to 7. I have 1 blocker. Not enough. If I'd gotten any kind of removal, I mean, I had the Bitter Triumph earlier, but yeah, they got 6 lands, and I got a bunch of lands right when I didn't need them. Now they're just showing off. I get to I get to do the Manifest Dread. That should be dead right there, right? Yep. Yeah, the Arabella Delny combination is a devastating one. I may have to showcase that at some point. So I shouldn't have killed the 4/4 really, even though it was flying at the time. I should have killed Arabella. That's probably the big lesson there. Tiny bones. Surveil. Trash. 3 is too slow right now. We're going up against 1-drops. We kind of hope they don't have other ways to get creatures out of our graveyard. That we don't come up against another Tiny Bones, because if they get enough mana, we're giving them some good ammunition. We want to get to a throne first. Fast, cheap deck here. Bunch of 1 and 2 drops. So they want a quick knockout. Start with the Preacher for Death Touch. See if this slows them down at all. A cut down won't get rid of the Preacher. Okay, I think we get rid of this puppy first. But they get to refill their hand really quick here. Let's get rid of... I don't think we need too many lands right this second. We should be okay. Lifelink Chump Blocker comes up. They can still fly over ahead with the Fairy Dream Thief each time and get card draw through Gix. And that's all they're willing to do. Okay. We take that. Let's do this. What do we get rid of? 2 Blood Hustlers. Anoint with Affliction is a good card for us. And they just got... They got land and they get our Sentinel. Another flyer. And that gets Vadmir pumped up to a 4/4, which is not good. And they go digging. Even though I'm out of ammunition too, they know I got something good coming up. They like the 1 card. They come at me only with the fairy? Okay, we need to stop their card draw. Another Anoint, that's good. I do like that. They get it. Gross. But if they get it, it doesn't have haste on it. Do they get to attack with it or no? No, they just get the... Okay. They get that with it. Let's go ahead and block everybody with Vadmir. Or block Vadmir with everybody, I should say. They didn't need to reorder. All of them die. Okay, we exile the bat, get rid of one of the flyers, especially the tougher flyer. We don't have enough land to bring that down after all this time. We still only stuck on 4 lands. Oh, and okay, I think we are losing more than we're winning in this. Yeah, that's gonna cost us the game because I can't use that to draw a card, and I don't have enough. No sign of the throne. That's compared to like winning 9 or 10 times last night and only losing once. I think we're under 50% winnings now with this. And that was my initial concept of how this deck would perform without as many collector vaults, without quite as much surveil. I thought it'd be slow going to find a throne, even if I put an extra one in. Maybe we'll get to use Fountain Port this time. It hasn't come up yet. Okay, we don't have the throne, so we're going to mill the opponent. So also give us a look at their deck. A land and Goliath Hatchery. So is this a poison deck? Breacher comes next. They kill it before any effects can take place, so they consider that a bigger threat than 2/2 lifelink. Probably appropriately so, because there's a way for us to get more creatures and go wide with that. 1/5. Okay, so Anoint with Affliction isn't going to work on that. They might have other stuff. I don't want to throw away removal. Let's just pass the turn. Does mean that we're going to start taking poison. This, we don't have a ton of big creatures, but we got them. No, any corrupted spells are going to work for them. Let's go ahead and power up Cottage. Oh, no, that won't work. I only have the one source of black for all that. Okay, I guess we're just attacking for 2 then. They have a lot of removal handy. Okay, so we'll block with a creature. We'll block with a fish to prevent the poison. Okay. This will work. Oh, no, wait. I don't want to pay. I just want to discard. We'll get rid of one of these. This is bigger and more expensive. Why does it act like I can do something with this? This costs 4. This is lighting up like I can exile something. Okay, bloated is fine. We don't have 3. Shoot. Okay, so let's just get rid of the bloated now. I need more land. I need more everything, actually. That's tap land. Whatever. Okay, we can make a fish at least. That's... ugh. It has flashback. Okay, fine. We've got a block. What? Noxious Assault. I have ward. You can't do something like that to me.
The downtrodden rise together.
What was that for? You know I've got an 8/8 attacker. Is that really all they could do? Oh, they proliferated the poison. I still lost. I wasn't even looking at my poison counter total. Okay. That's a lot of losses. We'll go one more. It's actually a fun deck. It was performing like awesomely last night. The cards that we're drawing are not exactly in the right order. Or they're just so close, or the enemy just so happens to have just the right card that does exactly what they need it to at exactly the only time that it will save them. At some point, the Wizard Spy Team has to take a break for lunch and let me actually play the game against my opponent on our own. A poison deck again. I wonder if there's in 3 of the Llanowar Wastes. That's interesting. I'm not sure how slow we can afford to go. These are great for them to get up front, though. Get them close to corruption right away. Come on. Everything every turn gives me poison. I need something a little different to mix this up. Collector's Vault, or a big creature, more land, a throne. Almost anything would be good to give me right about now. You notice everything they have is cheap, right? 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm guessing they were trying to debate on if it was worth running a counterspell on a 1/1, and they decided not to. Which does mean we do have to worry about counterspells. And now we have to worry about the 1/1 mites from Mirrex. Sure, why not? So if they have Vraska's Fall, I can get rid of the freebooter, and we still keep the Vein Ripper. They would need to get their own creature out themselves to get this off the board, just to target it. Although, we might get to 9 poison before we can use it. What are the odds that one of the few remaining cards here does not proliferate? There we go, they did it. I have a similar deck. So we got beat twice in a row by a poison deck. Evidently Arena knows that's the way to beat this deck. That's a lot of losses in a row, too. We're not at our 50% win ratio that we were told the Arena tries to mandate. They're trying really hard to make sure they understand that I should not be playing this deck at this point. Okay. Those were 2 different types of poison decks. Can we face something different this time? Opponent still goes first, though. After that many losses, shouldn't we get to go first at this point? I feel like maybe I should recommend my original deck just because Arena appears to hate this deck. It's like, what are you going to put up against this next? Okay, we do have a Collector's Vault. That's a good thing. I did not include anything in here to deal with enchantments. So that is something to consider. But we're geared towards just finding a throne and powering the throne. We're kind of a meme deck centering on doing one thing. The game didn't freeze. We're waiting on them to decide what they're going to do. Okay, they finally decided what they're going to do. Play the most heavily used removal card in the entire game. It's my turn. Let me have my turn, please. Thank you. Do they just have two of them? There we go. There we go. They had two will go for the throats. The bats are very popular. We come up against the bats every day. Thankfully, we didn't have a removal card yet. Out of all that, they take the Beseech, so we can't go look for a solution. I can't play 6, so I might as well choose a one to come in tapped. They know everything we have in our hand. They can't use Go for the Throat on that, but they can use a Cut Down. And they have it. Arena gave it to them. This is basically operating like the Arena enchantment, only it costs them 1 extra life. But the amount of card draw makes sure they hit their land drops all the time. Why did they do that? You knew everything except the final card, which was just a land. Really? Shieldred again. Ugh. Alright. We have to get rid of Shieldred. Let's just discard a land. We have to resolve that. We will bring you down. And we're going to keep the land up in our hand in case we don't like what we draw. We can throw away the forest. Now they go do that. They get their demon, and we're in trouble. Okay, they understand we have reach, so they're not attacking with the bat. Blast Zone. Blast Zone could help me with... What do I need to do to get rid of this, though? Isn't this, like, the grand total? Isn't that, like, 5, 6, 7, 8? I can't get up to 8 that fast. I can bring down a throne. What do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Okay. I can't power that, can I? 1, 2. I can bring this down. And I can mill myself. Bingo. Okay. I'm not dead yet. I just need them not to have another magical cut down all of a sudden, or put down yet another Shieldred. Oh, nice. It's a good card. They have 2 in a row. They have 2 at a time, and they still have extra mana. Okay. We craft. A 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. Submit. Use Annoying with Affliction on one of these. And we attack. That gives us a map token. Instant. They take the 3. Okay, that's what we wanted. Now we hope they don't have removal, because we want to block the Unstoppable Slasher. If they all get through unblocked, I think we're dead this turn. And we can't block the flyers. So I really need Sentinel to be able to block the Slasher this turn. Ugh. Talk about just in time. They could sacrifice one of these for their permanent and still keep these 2 up as blockers against the Grim Captain next turn. They shouldn't have... It's not this difficult. Just fly over my head and hit me for 7 points of damage. I mean, what's left? If I go ahead, I could have this come out and attack them for haste, but it's not lethal. They do nothing. Okay. Yeah. Gix's Command. That's what I want. Do I want to pay the 3 life? 6, 7? No, I don't. Discard a card, get rid of a demon. I tapped myself out, I used everything I had, and I still can't afford to attack them because they could go ahead and get rid of the Green Captain with double blocking. and they would only have to get rid of one of those 2 enchantments. And if they get rid of my Sentinel, I have to block the Unstoppable Slasher with the Grim Captain. Bat, okay. The Bat doesn't help them against Gix's command. The Slasher's not enough. Okay, what else you got? They got 3 of their 4 Grim Slashers, Unstoppable Slashers already? They aren't even halfway through their deck yet. They still have 2 cards and 3 energy. Okay, this is going to be kind of cool. That's what's going on? Do you have a shoulder to dick you've been hiding on me this whole time? Because if not, I think you're toast. This is beautiful. Okay, destroy with 2 and sacrifice. This will be a full board wipe on their side, although the slashers will both come back, but they'll be tapped. Why did only 1 slasher come back? Oh, it had no counters on it. Okay. Gotcha. The other one had counters on it, so it doesn't come back. That's good to know. We attack. We wait for our opponent to sort of let us attack. There's this dramatic pause after every action I try and take, so they've got to have some kind of instant. Bam. At last, we got through my turn. That only took forever. Come on, Dreadnought. See if they're any faster now that it's their turn. Oh, they get the Beseech the Mirror back. Yet another bat. You can have it. I don't think I need it anymore. This has Trample. This has Menace. This has Trample and Menace, actually, right? Menace and Trample and Trample. It's kind of a last gasp, desperate kind of thing. It's a discard card. Oh, they put it in their hand instead of use it. They're still looking at the Grim Captain again. I don't know if they haven't seen the card before. They've been kind of sort of hesitating on every step of the way, though, before even the throne came out. They lose 2 from their own enchantment, and we are good to go. Ah, they're suddenly fast enough to run before I can hit them for lethal damage. So you were able to click faster, weren't you, Dreadnought? Alright. We'll end on a win. I think if you add up the total today, we were less than 50% wins. You know, even if you take the land starvation, and you notice that one card that they had to make us sacrifice our creature in the first match that we lost, that's never going to appear again. But yeah, the only card that we didn't get to have fun with Vaultborn Tyrant that much, or Galta yet. But I have done some playtesting of this, and yesterday those guys came out, and Hulking Raptor was showing up a lot more, and it had a lot more ramps, so I could full cast things a lot more. But overall, even with the way Arena treated us today, which I suspect was not fair, they were mostly fun matches. So I like these suggestions. So shout out to ImmunoK948. Those were some good suggestions. Go ahead and leave a comment if you want me to go through the rest of the color pie and switch to other colors with the throne and see if that's possible. And maybe we'll continue on with that. Otherwise, I may do something different next time. So as always, we thank our Patreon, Cedric, and we invite you to like and subscribe. And any other suggestions that you want to make with a deck like this, go ahead and leave a comment as well. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.